Another one which is still in the Mythic Plus area, but that could be a little bit of a wild take. But I would like to see dungeon design that introduces a little bit shorter timers and, let's say, 3 boss dungeons. And I'm saying this because one of the dungeons that's coming back for season 2 is Theater of Pain, which is a long dungeon. It has 5 bosses, and
Yeah.
it could be very unpleasant if you get all the way to the last boss and then you wipe there. You've wasted, like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes of your time. I keep going back to Noku Defensive from Dragonflight, where it was a 40-minute dungeon, and basically one of the hardest parts was the transition on the last boss to the last phase.
Yep. It's coming.
So you would spend there like sometimes 40 minutes or something, and then people just don't see the ads on the last boss. You wipe and you wasted your time, right? And that feels really, really bad. Uh,
Yeah.
and then correct me if I'm wrong, but the PvP activities are like 15 minutes, right? The battlegrounds, the arena.
Some of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, most of them. Arenas can
maybe.
be 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're much shorter. I guess the solo queue
Yeah.
could take a little bit longer, but yeah, the point there is you commit your time to do something, and you know you're investing like 15 to 25 minutes, something like this, at the
Yeah.
worst.
Yep.
And if it fails, you just go in, and then you can do 4 of those in an hour or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Mythic Plus, if you go into Knockout Offensive and it fails, considering the waiting time, etc., you can do 1 of those per hour. So
Yep.
that kind of feels a little bit unfair, especially if you're learning and not all of your keys are timed, etc. So if you do shorter dungeons, if there's 3 boss dungeons with, let's say, a little bit less trash, and they're like 20, 25-minute timers, I think that's going to be much more enjoyable, because think about this season. What are the best dungeons? Everybody loves Arakara because it's fast, it's quick. Yes, the last boss is hard, but it's a 3-boss dungeon. So, people like to go there.
Yeah.
Everybody is doing Mists of Tyrannicide. Why? 3-boss dungeon. It's shorter
Yep.
timer. It's much more enjoyable to play. And then, I don't want to be a bad prophet, but I don't know how many people are going to like Theater of Pain next season, because it was not one of the favorite dungeons back in Shadowlands. I think it's when it was
I can't wait.
introduced. Yeah,
I can't wait to do it on my Warlock. I
yeah, and
cannot wait for the PvP.
yeah. I mean, that's a different topic, but the whole point is it's a long dungeon. It has 5 bosses, so it doesn't seem that it's one of the fan favorites, right? While the short dungeons, which people like, are just 3 bosses and are much shorter. So what I would like to see going forward is more stuff like that, and less 5 bosses, even less 4-boss dungeons, so that we have a much enjoyable experience overall in the Mythic Plus scene.
Yeah. I think that's a valid point. It is one of the more frustrating things to just fall over at the end of a dungeon. At least now, you still get some rewards that are more meaningful when you don't time keys, and so people are staying in keys longer when normally they would just kind of bail out. So that was a positive change. But yeah, I think smaller dungeons are more enjoyable. Maybe they can play around with the end of the dungeon rewards for some of those smaller ones. Maybe make the rewards a little less, and for the bigger ones that are 5 or 6 bosses, or 5 bosses, maybe increase it a little bit. That way people feel like at least there's something that they're getting out of it that's a little bit more
Yeah, get like
for
an
the
extra
time
piece.
invested. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like that.